Yeah, I mean, it's a difficult question to answer. I think even Angela Merkel says, the dampening expectations of a breakthrough here. Clearly, what's triggered this is, an escalation of the violence on the ground, gains made by the rebels, this. I mean, what does the Minsk Agreement mean? If the Minsk Agreement was a dozen or so conditions to actually de-escalate, so on the ground it's going in a different direction. Hence the renewed attempts at diplomatic efforts. It's very difficult to see how there could be actually any real agreement unless we bring in a third party like UN forces. But the other aspect to this narrative is the US and the Europeans' divergent views about what to do next if Putin doesn't follow the letter that he signed on the Minsk Agreement. Merkel has said that Putin's only actually met one of the dozen conditions, the exchange of prisoners, and even then, that wasn't done in full. So it's not looking good. Well, Russia itself is sliding into recession. Its foreign exchange reserves are draining. The Western banks are retreating from the country. Investors are generally. Unemployment's going up. They're facing a credit crunch, and the political situation is getting very heated in Russia. A lot of nationalist, populist voices have been raised, and Putin's got to control that or manage that. Now, having this insecurity on Russia's own borders is no good for Russia. Ukraine's a very important trading partner. It doesn't want to see it's not in its interest to see the collapse of Ukraine. It may want to see an unstable, weak, compliant vassal state, but it doesn't want to see a complete collapse, because that may be even out of the control of the Russian authorities. So I think Putin wants to have a frozen conflict. In other words, a de-escalation, but on his terms, where he gains certain areas in the Donbass region. But that is an affront to what the Europeans see as changing borders through force, which goes against everything that has been created since the Second World War. And it's an affront to Ukrainian territorial sovereignty and integrity. So, we're in an impasse here. And the only thing at the moment that the Europeans are considering is to ramp up sanctions yet again, where meanwhile the Americans are actually thinking of sending in arms to arm Ukraine.